Coogs, Rice, Big 12, and more here on the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break. Welcome to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. I'm, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for watching today's show on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review, or, of course, on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you have Roku, please download the BS3 app so you can watch this show and other great content on BS3. If you're not, you can go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. Get into it. Yes, this show is recorded. This is one of those rare Wednesdays during the basketball season where I'm going to be producing for the Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. The Cougs basketball team is playing, and I've got to work at school. So I'm recording the show for the takeover on Wednesday. Then I'm going to produce the lab. Then I'm going to watch the Cougs, and then be a part of the Let's Rate Cougs postgame show after the Cougs play Jackson State. But I always got to thank the members, the business people who are loyal and supporters of, well, let me do this. Got to get this right. That's right there. If you have not become a member, please, by all means, become a member of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube membership section. 2 tiers, 2 prices, 2 price points. The All-League tier, $2.99 per month. The All-World tier, $4.99 per month. I'm learning how to use YouTube's AI and turn a picture into a video. If you haven't seen it yet, become a member. You can see what I did with that. It's kind of interesting, kind of cool, and kind of scary at the same time. But as well, thanking the African Center of Wellbeing, Bayou Beat, Be Elite Basketball, Byron Riley CPA, the Pinto Leon Law Firm, Pruitt's in the Heights, Star Pizza, Tejas Brewery, United Sports and Entertainment, VIP Realty, and of course, the Saxenian family. If you want to join them, become a member, get a listing in the Houston Roundball Review Business Directory, simply email advertise@THEHRR.com. Once again, advertise at some say the HRR.com. I'm going to play a few clips from head coach Kelvin Sampson, Houston Cougars men's basketball coach, then share some news regarding Rice Owls men's and women's basketball players, and then get into some Big 12 and play a clip, not quite 30 seconds, from Big 12 commish Brett Yormark. Said something very, very telling, bold, brash during his media press conference on Saturday, December 6th, before Texas Tech thumped BYU in the 2025 Big 12 football championship. It relates to basketball, so you got to hear this if you haven't seen it already on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. I'm going to play it again for you. Well, it'll be new for you if you haven't seen it already, but let me know in the comments what you think about what Commissioner Yormark said. Bold, confident, brash. Brett Yormark. But first things first, Kelvin Sampson, Coach Kelvin Sampson, said a few words regarding head coach Willie Fritz getting a commitment and a signing from Keyshawn Henderson, quarterback, the top player in the class of the 2025 high school senior class. Yes, Keyshawn Henderson signed with the Cougs. The number 1 player in the country signed with the Houston Cougars. Bright future for the Cougs. And head coach Kelvin Sampson shared a few words on what that means for Houston athletics, Houston Cougs football, and him as well. Check this out.
So just excitement. That's what it is. Hope is an important word. We've had years there was no hope. Now there's excitement. And I'm looking forward to the day when I can walk into TDECU, if it's still called that, and look around and see a packed house. that's when you know that we've arrived, is when we can fill that stadium and getting kids like this young man is a huge step in the right direction. We got the right coach. Our administration is doing a great job of supporting our programs. So I see a lot of calm seas ahead. Now, we've been through some storms, but there are no pretty boats in the storm. They're all tied up at the marina. So we're out there, been through some storms, and now I see some calm waters ahead, and it's exciting. This is an exciting time to be a supporter, alumni fan of U of H athletics. We've got some really good coaches in almost all of our sports. So we're in a great conference. This is a good time to be a Cougar, and I'm excited about how many of our fans are going to come out and support us Saturday night. Come see the Cougars play, and then but there's the excitement for next fall in football is going to be there. I know I'm looking forward to it.
There you go, head coach Kelvin Sampson. Of course, that was last Thursday before, that was probably December 4th, his media availability with us. So it was before the December 6th matchup against Florida State that the Cougs won 82-67 inside Toyota Center. But just Kelvin Sampson saying this is a great time to be a Cougar fan, supporter of U of H athletics. He's looking forward to football season. Keyshawn Henderson, the number one player in the country, signed with the Cougs. So I'm going to say this, and not speaking of Coach Sampson. Buy your tickets, UH fans. Get on the phone. If you are currently a football season ticket holder, renew your tickets. If you have not, if you're kind of wavering about it, buy your tickets. Buy your tickets. Support the Cougs. Get a chance to see the number one player in the country. Most likely he won't play a lot, barring injury to Connor Wigman. But Keyshawn Henderson, I think you'll see some action and then probably redshirt. He can play 4 games and still redshirt. But bright times for Houston Cougars football, bright times for Houston Cougars athletics. And then, well, I'm going to play another clip. It's going to be real quick. It's going to go back to Coach Sampson's clip you just saw. But this time it's going to be Coach Sampson talking about HBCUs and specifically Jackson State head coach Mo Williams and the respect Coach has for Mo Williams, the job Mo is doing at Jackson State. And of course, the Cougs men's team hosts Jackson State Wednesday, December 10th. And we're going to talk about it on Let's Rage Cougs after the game. But as you watch this, you're watching today's Takeover on December 11th. But these comments are from Coach Sampson on Monday, December 8th. But yes, you're going to see real quickly the previous clip, and then I'll transition to the new clip.
So, Mo's, I really like him. He reaches out. He's come to our summer workouts. He comes and sits and observes and watches. He's been in some of our coaches' meetings. We sit down and talk. He texts, calls. I just appreciate young coaches that are hungry and they have a desire to get better. Because ultimately, the better you are, the better your job, the better you can lead your young men you're coaching and help them reach their goals and teach them about some things other than basketball. To me, that's always been the thing that I've enjoyed most about this profession is the ability to impact and help guys long after they leave here through basketball. But basketball is just a vehicle to teach life lessons. And, Mo's very smart, highly intelligent. He's going to be an outstanding coach. Jackson State won't be his last opportunity. And I can see him really growing in this profession. But you know, because of money and budget and having to pay for everything that they're dealing with basketball wise, budget wise, he has to go raise his own budget, you know, and that was the kind of way it was here when I got here. We didn't charter. We didn't have meals for players. Everybody ate in the dorm. You know, we were very similar to a SWAC school when I first got here, and it was like that for a year or so. So whatever extra that Mo can do for his team and his players, he's playing all these games, Illinois and Houston or Arkansas. You know, he finds out who, you know. He said you can talk to him about why he plays us. That's not my place to say, but I know he has to schedule games to be able to operate budget wise at a school like Jackson State. So I have a ton of respect for Mo and all the coaches in that league.
I hope you caught what Coach said during those comments. When he first was named head coach of the Houston Cougars men's basketball team, he said the program was much like a SWAC school. And look how far the program has evolved and transformed since year one and really year two. No charter. Players eating meals in the dorm. No special food. No, God v. Lewis facility was finalized. Nothing of that sort. No fancy weight room and training facilities and all those things. The team charters now. So for the newcomers to the program, to the fan base, to the supporting of the team, you weren't a part of how it was when Coach Sampson got here. I was. I covered the team. He doesn't want anyone to forget how far the program has come and where it was and to where it's now. So that's why he really wants people to appreciate the success this team is enjoying, continues to enjoy. Yes, they did not win the championship, but the success this program has become, this program is nationally relevant in men's basketball. It was irrelevant for a long, 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 long time. So yes, I am an alum, and yes, I will hope one day to see Coach Sampson, Houston Cougars men's basketball win the national championship. No doubt. I hope that happens. I want it to happen. But from where this program was to where it is now, I continue to enjoy the ride and enjoy the journey and appreciate the success that this program has and is enjoying right now. Someone similar, but better facilities, but first-year head coach is Matthew Mitchell on the women's side. Well, first-year program, first year under head coach Matthew Mitchell. Houston Cougars women's basketball is now 5-4. All 9 games have been against quad 4 opponents, so not like a murderer's row so far during non-conference. But the 4th loss, the most recent game played by the Cougs, was a loss to the Southern Jaguars from the SWAC. It was this past Sunday, December 7th. The Cougs never led in this game. They lost 70-62. Never led in this game. The better team won. Let me say that again. The better team won. Southern had just come off winning at Arizona, another Big 12 program under a first-year head coach. So here is the post-game press conference from head coach Matthew Mitchell after the Cougs' 70-62 loss to Southern to fall to 5-4 this season.
Mo's.
Well, first, hats off to Southern University. What a tough team, hardworking. Just really impressed with their resilience. They've had a really difficult schedule. Been on the road forever, and they played really hard today. So they were very impressive. We just are not a team that can show up with low energy and low focus, and that's really the story of the game today. Just didn't have enough consistent focus and consistent energy throughout the 40-minute period, and so we need to get that together, and that's totally on us, and it's going to be necessary because we have to be really locked in, focused, high energy, high hustle for us to be an effective team, and we just didn't give enough of that today.
Coach, what are some of the things you can do to get that energy and focus improved?
Well, it's we've been a bit inconsistent as a team with that, and that's really on me. I've just got to find some way to make the atmosphere, make sure it's required of us. And I talked to him yesterday. I thought we were not as focused as we needed to be, and so just continue to try to teach and continue to put them in situations where your focus is required and you're held accountable to it, and we just didn't have it today.
Coach, what's the status of Kara Merchant, if there's anything?
She had the flu, so we really missed her today. It shortened our rotation, and she gives us when she's locked in and focused, she gives us some really good energy and good minutes. So we are hoping we'll be off tomorrow, and then we're hoping when we can have cleared her up by Tuesday and march forward. But just unfortunate, the flu bug got us, and so we've been checking on her, and she's excited to get back, but we just need to get her healthy.
Coach, just your impressions on how Jordan Ross did today?
Oh, just what a bright spot for us. Now, if you want to find some positive about today, that was a really good development. She, by far that's her most minutes. She was so productive, and a great addition to the offense to come in and be that productive in that period of time. I was really proud of her. And we had been pointing to December once she had a knee surgery about 5 months ago, and we thought it'd be about a 5-month process. And she's just done everything you could possibly ask her to do. She's one of the most positive, if not the most positive person on the team. Really high character, and so happy to see her hard work pay off today. And she really gave us a boost and gave us a chance to be back in the game. So, very positive development for our team with Jordan's performance.
Coach, kind of a follow-up on that regarding Ross. How do you see you changing the offense to kind of fit what we saw her do in the paint with your high-low or things like that?
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of plays that we can get it into the low post, and so we'll just make sure that we have good packages going into games, and we're prepared and we're ready to get the ball inside. And she's just such a physical presence and gives us an added dimension to our team.
Post-game comments from Matthew Mitchell, head coach of Houston Cougars women's basketball, after the Cougs 70-62 loss at home to Southern on Sunday, December 7th. And I gotta say, Southern looked as athletic, if not more athletic, than most of the Cougs. As mentioned in the clip, Kiera Merchant, one of the Cougs' best athletes, best players, best guards, missed the game due to the flu, so her absence was felt. But the Cougs don't have a true point guard to get the offense going, get people in the right spots, get them good looks. They don't have great shooters. They have streaky shooters. The one positive was getting Jordan Ross back, 6'4" center, transfer from Arizona, ironically. Her presence in the third quarter, that's when she was inserted into the game. She had, I think, 12 points in 8 minutes in the third quarter, something like that. She was the offense for the Cougs when everything bogged down. Got it down low to her. Defensively, she had a few lapses, but you got a 6'4" post player who can score and make layups. Get her the ball. So that's something going forward for the Cougs. The next game is on the road in the pit against New Mexico. Might be 5-5. I think they're going to lose that game too. Next, some happier news with H-Town teams. Rice men's and women's basketball. Rice's Trey Broadnax was named American Conference Honorable Mention. Rice graduate student guard Trey Broadnax was named American Conference Honorable Mention. The league office announced Monday afternoon. It is his first honor this season and the third of his career. Broadnax led Rice to a 77-72 victory over Texas State in the Owls' only game of the week last week. Broadnax led the Owls with 16 points, a season-high 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. With Texas State holding a 53-51 lead, Broadnax hit a jumper, then made 2 free throws to give Rice the lead. Broadnax became the first Owl to lead the team in all 5 categories since Chris Mullins, that's Mullins with an S, not lefty Chris Mullins, the Hall of Famer, but since Chris Mullins against Marshall, February 9th, 2019. Rice continues its homestand this Saturday, December 13th, when the Owls host Arkansas State. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. Central, and the game will be streamed by ESPN+. Rice women's hoops. Rice's Dominique Ennis also received American Honorable Mention for the week last week. After a record-breaking weekend, Rice women's basketball senior guard Dominique Ennis was named American Conference Honorable Mention on Monday afternoon. Ennis powered the Owls to a 2-0 week, featuring wins over Sam Houston and UNLV. Ennis broke the all-time Rice three-point record in a 20-point performance with 6 three-pointers against the Lady Rebels, UNLV. She added a 13-point showing in the team's win over Sam Houston. On the week, Ennis averaged 16.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 1.5 blocks, and 1.5 steals per game. She shot 12 of 28 from the floor, including 9 of 17 from three-point range. The Owls wrap up their homestand Friday morning against UT Arlington. Yes, Friday morning. I think that's going to be the Owls' Education Day. Kids Day, Education Day. A lot of schools from around the area attend the game. They have a great time, and it gets really loud inside any building where a Kids Day is taking place. But to the field house, I think tip-off is at 11:15, I believe. Alas, I won't be able to make it because I'll be working at the high school as we are winding down finals for the next few days before the winter break. Whew. All right. Going to shift gears and go to the Big 12, but I'm going to play the promo for BS3 Network to give you a better idea of what BS3 is all about. And I'll be back in 90 seconds. I'm, of course, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review, and you are watching the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, Throwback Thursday style. Takeover is powered by JM&E, streaming on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel and also on Roku via the BS3 Network. Be back in 90 seconds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, Throwback Thursday, powered by JM&E. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Now let's talk some Big 12 action, Big 12 news, mostly basketball news. We can talk about Texas Tech in their CFP, getting the fourth spot in the CFP, hosting, but their opponent is TBD. So let's talk hoops. And that's what I love doing anyway, is talking hoops, especially Big 12 hoops. And Brett Yormark loves his conference, loves to toot the horn of the conference and his players and student assets.
And we've had an unprecedented start to the basketball season. 6 women's basketball programs are in the top 30 of the net, and that's tied for the most in any conference in America. And Big 12 basketball is the second best league in the country, behind only the NBA. And I'm coining that phrase, okay? And we've shown that in our out-of-conference matchups with other Power 4 conferences.
You heard it. Big 12 basketball, and he means specifically men's basketball, is the second best league behind the NBA in the country. What are your thoughts on that? Here is it. This year, non-conference wise, he may not be too far off. Now, you can quibble and say about what about the G League and whatever, but he not too far off, because Big 12 men's basketball has the best non-conference record of any of the Power 4 conferences, and it's not even close. Last I saw, they had 12 more wins than any other Power 4 conference when it comes to facing other Power 4 programs. Big 12 men's basketball is rolling this year. Iowa State went to Purdue and thumped Purdue by 20-plus points. Iowa State and Arizona are both 1 seeds in nearly all the bracketology, early looks bracketology. And I'm going to say this now. I'll get into more details and specifics for my YouTube members throughout the season. In order for the Cougs men's basketball team to be a 1 seed, they're going to have to win the Big 12. Of course, they've done it 2 years in a row. I know. But yeah, they're either a 3 or a 4 seed right now. They only face Iowa State and Arizona once each during conference play. They're going to have to win the Big 12, I'll say, regular season to be a 1 seed. And if they are a 1 seed, then they probably will still be placed in Houston in Toyota Center. Even that's kind of might be a little iffy as well, based on who the other ones are. Michigan and Duke, both playing great. If it's Michigan could be the 1 seed in the Midwest, and Duke could be the 1 seed in the East. So that would still leave the South. So a scenario of Houston, Arizona as 1 seeds, Arizona will stay out west and Houston be in the South. But a scenario of Houston, Iowa State as 1 seeds, based on the head-to-head result, there's a chance. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense, but the committee, Houston needs to beat Iowa State in Ames. Let's put it like that, to help them get that 1 seed in Houston and not out west. More from the Big 12.
We've had an unprecedented,
as you heard, Yormark, but now let's get into the news on the court, well, off the court, but results. Iowa State's Milan Momcilovic and Baylor's Tunde Yesufu headline Big 12's Men's Basketball Weekly Awards for games ending December 7th. Houston's Kingston Flemings, Oklahoma State's Parsa Fala, and Texas Tech's Christian Anderson rounded out the conference's weekly starting 5. Momcilovic scored a game-high 20 points in the Cyclones' 81-58 thrashing BTA of then number one Purdue, tying the largest road margin of victory against the number one team in the history of the AP poll. The junior from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, went 8 of 17 from the field in the game, which represented Purdue's largest margin of defeat inside Mackey Arena for a non-conference game. It was a beatdown. Momcilovic hit 8 consecutive three-pointers and scored 27 points in Iowa State's 132-68 win over Alcorn State, as the team set a Big 12 single-game record with 22 three-point buckets. 22. For the week, he averaged 23.5 points and 3.5 steals to earn his first Big 12 weekly award. Yesufu averaged 24.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.5 steals for the Bears, shooting 63.3% from the field in 2 games. In the 110-88 win over Sacramento State, the guard from Cotonou, Benin, scored 27 points with 6 rebounds and 4 steals in just 27 minutes of game time. At Memphis, he posted the third 20-plus point game of his season, dropping 22 while making a career-best 4 three-pointers. It is his first career weekly award. Flemings scored 21 points while adding 5 assists and 8 steals, 14 deflections, in the Cougars' 82-67 win over Florida State at Toyota Center. Fowler averaged 24.5 points over 2 games as the Cowboys ran their record to 9-0, highlighted by a 25.6 rebound performance against Grand Canyon at the Mortgage Matchup Center. Anderson dropped 27 points with 5 rebounds and 10 assists as Texas Tech knocked LSU from the ranks of the unbeaten with an 82-58 thumping at Dickies Arena. Big 12 men's basketball is getting things done. There you see the Big 12 starting 5 for the week, ending December 8th. Tunde Yesufu from Baylor, newcomer. Kingsley Flemings from Houston. Milan Momcilovic from Iowa State, player of the week. Parsa Fowler from Oklahoma State. And Kristen Anderson from Texas Tech. On the women's side, TCU's Olivia Miles and Cincinnati's Kalia DeVillesi. Olivia Miles, player of the week. DeVillesi, freshman of the week. Earned Big 12 women's basketball accolades for the 5th week of the 2025-26 season. Reminder, or if you're new to the show, I am a media panel voter for the Big 12 Women's Hoops Weekly Awards. And I did get this right again. Hey. Baylor's Talia Scott, Kansas's Samaya Nichols, and K-State's Jordan Spicer also earned recognition on the Big 12 starting 5, which highlights strong performances from around the league. Miles notched a triple-double, 15 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds in TCU's 90-45 victory over UTEP. It is the first triple-double by a Horned Frog in 14 years and the second by a league player this season. The 3-time All-American is now tied for 5th in NCAA women's basketball history for career triple-doubles with 7. Miles is the first major conference player since at least 2000 to start a season with 10 straight games of at least 15 points and 5 assists. This is her first Big 12 Player of the Week nod. DeVillesi delivered a standout week for Cincinnati, averaging 21.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4 assists, while shooting 48.3% from the field during the week. The guard from Owings Mills, Maryland, opened the week with a career-best 23 points against Miami of Ohio, adding 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. DeVillesi followed with a 20-point performance on 55.6% shooting against Xavier to go with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. She becomes the first Big 12 freshman this season to earn 2 Freshman of the Week awards. Talia Scott had her first career double-double. That's hard to believe. That's her first. With 23 points and 10 assists against Southeastern Louisiana. Samaya Nichols led Kansas to 2 wins while averaging 19 points, 6.5 assists, and 4.5 rebounds. Jordan Spicer paced K-State in a win over then number 13 Ole Miss with career-high 19 points, including a 7 of 7 performance from the free throw line. Big 12 Player of the Week, once again, Olivia Miles. Big 12 Freshman of the Week, Kalia DeVillisi. And the starting 5 on the women's side, Talia Scott from Baylor, Kalia DeVillisi from Cincinnati, Samaya Nichols from Kansas, Jordan Spicer, K-State, and Olivia Miles from TCU. Now, Big 12 news, oblong variety. Big 12 Conference announces strategic partnership with the National Football League to advance the future of football. On December 5th, the Big 12 Conference announced a new strategic partnership with the NFL that is designed to strengthen the entire football ecosystem, from officiating and innovation to global growth and the student asset experience. The collaboration brings together 2 of the sport's most influential organizations to build the future of football with shared purpose and aligned values. Through this partnership, the Big 12 and NFL will work side by side on officiating development, global football initiatives, emerging technology, analytics, and flag football expansion. The goal is simple: elevate the game, grow the game, and protect the game for generations to come. The partnership also connects the Big 12 to the NFL's work in international strategy, technology pilots, and global flag football. From joint appearances at international identification camps to shared testing of player tracking technology and performance systems, both organizations will push the game forward with data-driven insight and hands-on collaboration. Quote from Troy Vincent, the NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations. This is about being football strong now and in the future. We're committed to working with the Big 12 to help develop world-class officials, data scientists, athletic trainers, and coaches. Football is strong when we collaborate. Together, we're improving the student-athlete experience, expanding global opportunities, and investing in the long-term health of the sport, end quote. One of the areas of focus is officiating. The NFL and the Big 12 will expand opportunities for joint training and evaluation programs. Officials from the conference will gain access to NFL clinics, weekly teaching tapes, and advanced accountability tools. Both organizations will collaborate to identify officials with the potential to advance into professional football. The 2 organizations will also collaborate to grow flag football across Big 12 campuses, connecting collegiate programs with NFL flag resources, coaching tools, and player appearances. The expansion aligns with football's global movement and the rising popularity of flag at the youth, collegiate, and international levels. This announcement marks a significant step in a shared vision to cultivate the next generation of leaders, enhance competitive excellence, and ensure that football remains strong, accessible, and forward-looking. Ain't that nice? The Big 12 Conference has announced an innovative, this is the next bit of news. This is interesting, especially the hooper involved in its creation, honestly. The Big 12 Conference has announced an innovative new partnership with athleteapps.com that will provide every Big 12 student asset from all 16 institutions the opportunity to receive their own mobile app for free. This initiative, the first of its kind for a college conference, gives Big 12 student athletes the tools to control their digital presence, engage fans, and monetize their brand, both during and after their athletic careers. Each app will allow athletes to connect directly with their fan base by sending push notifications while maintaining ownership of their data. Student athletes will earn 100% of the revenue from the ads they place on their app, along with revenue from custom elements such as merchandise, memorabilia, and private lessons. Okay. The app can also be integrated into social media platforms, creative content, and game schedules as part of athleteapps.com's work with thousands of apps for athletes across the collegiate and professional landscapes. The Big 12, this is a quote from Michael Redd. Yes, the Michael Redd, original founder of athleteapps.com. The Big 12 has made a seismic move to equip and empower student athletes and help them better monetize their full digital value. The Big 12 Conference wants to ensure every athlete has a chance to build a sustainable income that will last long after their playing days are over. End quote. Next quote from Big 12 Chief Brand and Business Officer Tyrell Kirkham. Quote, "Our conference remains at the forefront of helping student athletes build their brands through technology and innovation. This partnership with athleteapps.com is a new resource for Big 12 student athletes to enhance fan engagement, monetize their digital footprint, and create future opportunities for brand growth, both now and after their playing days." End quote. Interesting. I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below the vid, and hopefully you can comment as you're watching the show on Thursday live on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Moving on, a little bit of some news from the American Conference. Players of the Week, and I got to get to the stat line for the women's basketball player of the week in the American. This will blow your mind. But first, on the men's side, the American Conference has announced a weekly men's basketball honors for the 5th week of the regular season. Player of the week, Zach Davis, senior guard from Memphis. Zach averaged 16.5 points and 11 rebounds in a pair of wins. A guard averaged 11 rebounds in a pair of wins for the Tigers last week. He had a monster game in a nationally televised win over Baylor on CBS on Saturday, December 6th, with 23 points and 13 rebounds, while posting 10 points and 9 rebounds against New Orleans earlier in the week. The freshman of the week in the American, Josiah Parker, forward from Florida Atlantic. He helped the FAU Owls to a road win at Florida Gulf Coast on Sunday, December 7th, with 16 points on 7 of 8 shooting, along with 5 rebounds. On the women's side, check this out. North Texas's Nestor, Tulsa's Tolman earned Women's Basketball Weekly Honors for the week ending Sunday, December 7th. Player of the Week, Megan Nestor, senior forward from North Texas, averaged 20 points and 19 rebounds in 2 games, including an historic outing against Texas Southern, scoring 34 points and grabbing 31 rebounds. One more time, 34 points and 31 rebounds, including 15 offensive rebounds. She broke the American single-game rebounding record and became just the 3rd player in Division I to post a 30-30 game, 34 points and 31 rebounds. Woo! Wow. The freshman of the week, Dora Tolman, guard from Tulsa. Tolman averaged 15.5 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals in 2 games for the Golden Hurricane. In the win against Mississippi Valley, she led Tulsa in scoring with 22 points while grabbing 9 rebounds. Final moments of this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Bowl week, College Bowl week, kicks off this Saturday with the Celebration Bowl featuring South Carolina State from the MEAC and Prairie View A&M, PVU from the SWAC in Atlanta. Good luck to Prairie View and Coach Jermaine Jackson, a Houstonian and a graduate from the University of Houston. Go Coogs. Good luck to PV. Get more info and details once again, courtesy of my brothers and colleagues on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Do a great job of giving you info and insight throughout regarding HBCU sports, football, basketball, everything. And they're doing a great job detailing, providing info and content and context about this matchup between PV and South Carolina State. One more time, if you haven't already, please do so. Buy you some merch. It's not just once a Coug, always a Coug merch. There is Houston Roundball Review merch. Hoodies, mugs, sweatshirts, pants, sweatpants. I have a few more different items that I will launch in January 2026. But scan that code, that QR code, and purchase your Houston Roundball Review merch and support the Houston Roundball Review. That will do it. One more time, become a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member, the All League tier, for $2.99 per month. The All World tier for $4.99 per month. Get early access to new videos, members only YouTube shorts, members only videos, members only live streams. I'll resume those once everything slows down, probably during winter break when school is out for 2 weeks. Get back at that, but that will not stop you. Become an All-League member or an All-World member of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube membership family. That will do it. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your support of the Houston Roundball Review. Almost, 3 weeks away from beginning 2026. That'll be year 32 of the Houston Roundball Review. 2025 has been a struggle. I hope next year will be no struggle. But I'll keep pressing forward, keep pounding out those rocks, and onward and upward for the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break on Throwback Thursday. The Takeover powered by JM&E. streaming on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, and of course, streaming on Roku via the BS3 Network. In conclusion, since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.